Number 10. Britney Spears. After appearing on Carpool Karaoke with James Corden, Britney confessed that it was not as fun as it seemed. In fact, she claimed that it was extremely awkward. Apparently, James was being manipulative towards her because she specifically asked him not to play Hit Me Baby One More Time, which he ended up doing multiple times. He even wore a costume that was exactly like the one from the music video. Of course, Britney did her best to play along, but it turns out that she was a little uncomfortable with everything that was happening in the car. While speaking to a radio station about the experience, she said, "It was a little awkward, like driving by grocery stores. People walk by and there are like 18 cameras around us. This is just so awkward." Carpool Karaoke was one of the most popular segments of the show, but James ended up getting a lot of backlash when people found out that he wasn't actually driving. In January of 2020, one fan spotted him filming an episode with Justin Bieber, and he posted the video to Twitter. Rather than being on the road, James's black SUV was being towed by a tow truck and he was pretending to drive it. This called the whole show into question. The fact that it might have been staged made it seem artificial, and it took a lot of the fun out of it. Number 9. Patrick Stewart. A clip from the 2010 Glamour Awards has resurfaced recently, and it shows Patrick Stewart obliterating James Corden on stage. It's the definition of public humiliation. The two of them were presenting an award together when Stewart suddenly decided to call him out for his disinterested attitude towards the ceremony. He said, "When the presenters are up here and when the recipients are receiving their awards, don't stand at the back of the stage with your hands in your pockets, looking around as though you wished you were anywhere but here." At that moment, James was super caught off guard, and so was everyone else in the audience. He was obviously embarrassed, and so he shot back with a remark. He said, "If I looked like that, I'm so sorry, but when you come up and present an award, just effing get on with it." Both of them should have moved on from there, but it somehow got even cringier when Stewart decided to make fun of Corden's weight. He said, "From where I was sitting, I can see your belly, and that was over there at the back of the room." The spat continued back and forth for a few minutes, but it was just so uncomfortable to watch, it felt more like hours. Number 8. Bill Maher. This late night feud started in 2019 when Bill used a segment of his show to discuss high obesity rates in the US. He felt that the solution was to bring back fat shaming because in his opinion, shame is the first step in reform. A few days later, James hit back at his remarks on the Late Late Show. He said, "So I was sat at home and I'm watching this and all I could think of was like, oh man, someone needs to say something about this. If only there was someone with a platform who knew what it was actually like to be overweight. And then I realized, oh, that will be me." James reminded him that fat shaming was still alive and well and said there's a common and insulting misconception that fat people are stupid and lazy, and they're not. After being called out, Bill went on the Joe Rogan podcast and doubled down on his comments about obesity being a health issue. He said, "You can't keep eating as much as you want and as much stuff as you want and expect us to cover the bill." He also felt that James had missed a great opportunity to literally save lives, and said that he took the easy way out by criticizing him instead of talking about solutions. Number 7. Ricky Gervais. On the surface, these two comedians have a lot in common. They both became famous on British TV shows in the 2000s before jumping to movies, and eventually making their way to Hollywood. But instead of friendship, they actually had something that was closer to a nasty rivalry. This started when James played Ricky in a comedy sketch. In the years since, Ricky has publicly teased and criticized him on multiple occasions, at almost every opportunity. For example, after he bombed with the Weinstein jokes at a charity gala, Ricky went on Radio Andy and claimed that his jokes fell flat because he didn't do it well enough, basically saying if you're going to be offensive, you have to at least be funny. Then at the 2020 Golden Globes, Ricky slammed his appearance in the movie musical Cats, which is more than fair considering that it completely bombed at the box office. Most people found the CGI human cats a little sickening to look at, so it's no surprise that it performed so badly. In fact, critics have long accused James Corden of ruining every movie that he gets involved in. This list includes some major flops, like 2021's Cinderella, Lesbian Vampire Slayers, and the Emoji Movie. He also came under fire for exploiting gay stereotypes with his character in The Prom, so he might need to consider taking a break from acting as well. Number 6. Mel B. The Spice Girls singer labeled James Corden as one of the biggest D-heads in show business. She went on the Big Nasty show and was asked about the rudest celebrity that she's ever met. In response, she came up with a short list that included the host of The Late Late Show. Mel explained that the older she gets, the less tolerance she has for annoying people. She was then asked why she specifically named James Corden. She said, "I think you always have to be nice to the people that you work with, whether it be production, camera guys, sound, lighting, we all work for the same thing. So you should always be nice, and he hasn't been very nice." Around the time of this interview, other videos started circulating online. One of them was a video from 2016 when Jimmy Kimmel asked James to name 2 of the cameramen in the room. In response, he just starts laughing because it was obvious that he couldn't do it. The whole thing was pretty awkward to watch. But the craziest part is that it happened again 1 year later. During a Q&A segment with his audience, one of the crowd members asked James if he could once again name a cameraman, and he failed. Number 5. Keith McNally. Back in October, the owner of a high-end New York City restaurant called Balthazar made a viral Instagram post blasting James Corden for his horrible behavior towards staff. He called him a tiny cretin of a man and the worst customer to his servers since the restaurant opened 25 years ago. He claimed that in one instance, James demanded 2 free rounds of drinks for him and his friends after he presented a hair that was supposedly found on his food. He said, "Get us another round of drinks this second. Also, take care of all our drinks so far. This way I won't write any nasty reviews on Yelp." So he basically threatened to ruin the restaurant's reputation with his fame and influence. On another occasion, he is said to have flipped out when an egg yolk omelet that his wife had ordered was found to have a little egg white in it. He allegedly went ballistic. According to the owner, James was so awful that he felt compelled to out him publicly and ban him from the restaurant, something that is very rarely done in high-end establishments. Amidst a growing controversy, James eventually addressed the incident on The Late Late Show, but he never fully took responsibility for his behavior. Number 4. Rose McGowan. In 2017, during the dawn of the Me Too movement, James made a series of tasteless jokes about a certain disgraced film producer and notorious Hollywood creep. While presenting at a gala charity event, he brought up the scandal that had just come out that very same week. He said, "Tonight is such a beautiful night in LA. So beautiful, Harvey has already asked to night up to his hotel to give him a massage." At this point, you could already hear the loud groans from the audience, but James just kept on going. He said, "It has been a weird week this week, hasn't it? Watching Harvey in hot water? Ask any of the women who watched him take a bath." By the time James was finished with the joke, it was pretty clear that he failed to read the room. It was just way too early to be making fun of something like that. And 2 of the women who accused Harvey ended up calling him out on Twitter. Actress Asia Argentino wrote, "Shame on this pig and everyone who grunted with him." And Rose McGowan also came through with a similar criticism. It wasn't exactly subtle either. She called James a mother effing piglet, and he later apologized on Twitter, claiming that he was not trying to make light of the situation, but it didn't really win him back any fans. Number 3. Jack Allison. The TV writer who wrote for Jimmy Kimmel Live in the 2010s is also a member of the Writers Guild of America. In 2019, he told a shocking story on Twitter about the time that he went to a union meeting that James Corden was also attending. He wrote, "I'd like to state once again for the record that I went to a WGA meeting for only late night writers, and James Corden showed up without any of his staffers to advocate for a lower pay grade for late night writers." Jack explained that he was trying to frame it positively, like we want to give writers' assistants a chance, so maybe there should be a lower pay grade for them. But once he read the allegations, James fired back on Twitter. He pretty much denied everything that was said about him and wrote, "I would never ever want to pay a writer less than they deserve. Never. I love every writer on my show, and all I ever wanted from that meeting was to explore whether talented people could get a better opportunity." In response, Jack Allison doubled down and claimed that what he said was accurate. As if that wasn't bad enough, James was later accused of being extremely rude to production staff while filming a game show called A League of Their Own. Number 2. Pierce Brosnan. While hosting The Late Late Show, James played Spill Your Guts or Feel Your Guts with Khloe Kardashian. He was asked to name a celebrity who was rude to him, and after a lot of hesitation, he finally admitted to having a not so pleasant run-in with Pierce Brosnan. The story goes that he was at a U2 concert with his wife and some friends. His group was seated next to Brosnan and his party, who left in the middle of the show. They had a pretty good spot near the runway where Bono would often be seen. At this point, James didn't think that Pierce would be back anytime soon, so he and his wife decided to move into that area closer to the stage. But he felt an arm grab his shoulder and aggressively push him out of the way. Apparently, the actor didn't acknowledge the interaction at all and just went back to enjoying the concert. When he finished telling the story, Khloe suggested that perhaps he was drunk, to which James responded by saying, "Well, maybe he's just a bit effing rude." That moment was definitely an interesting one because James rarely names and shames people on TV, but it's possible that this interaction upset him so much that he didn't mind putting the actor on blast. Either way, that's one guest he won't ever be getting on his show. And coming in at number 1, exposed on Reddit. In 2019, James wanted to surprise fans by making an appearance on Reddit's infamous Ask Me Anything thread, all to promote a special edition of his show. But the plan massively backfired when people started flooding the thread talking about all the horrible experiences that they've had had meeting him in real life. In the end, James was only able to answer 3 questions before he dipped, probably because the truth was coming out about him and he was getting brutally roasted. One viral post said, "Hey James, you won't remember me, but me and my friends sat at a table next to you and Harry Styles, plus some others in Manchurian Legends in London's Chinatown about 6 years ago. We didn't bother you, but you were a massively entitled C-word who yelled and treated the waitstaff like crap. And when one of my party politely suggested you calm down, you got really aggressive and threatening." Now, if you thought that was bad, there was also another viral Reddit post made by a person who was traveling with James Corden on a London flight. Apparently, the entire plane witnessed his wife struggling to take care of their baby while James was sound asleep in the seat right next to her. In fact, he was so uninvolved that for a long time, people didn't even realize that they were together.
Number 10. Francia Raisa. Francia has had her ups and downs with her friendship with Selena, but she really came through for the star when she was struggling with her life-threatening health issues due to having complications with lupus. Francia donated a kidney to Selena during a severe time of need for the star. She said at the time, "There aren't words to describe how I can possibly thank my beautiful friend Francia Raisa. She gave me the ultimate gift and sacrifice by donating her kidney to me." But since this amazing moment, many have wondered about their friendship more recently. Back in 2022, Selena shared in an interview how hard it is to connect with people in the industry. She revealed to Rolling Stone, "I never fit in with the cool group of girls that are celebrities. My only friend in the industry really is Taylor Swift." Francia reportedly commented on this post and wrote, "Interesting," which she later deleted. Selena then looked to respond to her and commented on a TikTok that was describing the interview and wrote, "Sorry I didn't mention every person I know." Since this, it's been a strange situation between the two, but Francia is finally speaking out. After not really going into detail about the status of her friendship with Selena, she has shared that she is getting cyberbullied currently. She told TMZ that the comments that are being made about her have been really bad. She explained that she doesn't understand why she's getting bullied over Selena, considering Selena has a whole nonprofit dedicated to mental health. She told the press, "The fact that I'm now being bullied as I am, it's messing with me mentally. To me, it's not what anyone wants for someone." Going on to say, she's literally out there saying, "Please stop," so I don't understand others that are also being antagonized online. Number 9. The Weeknd. Selena and The Weeknd were first rumored to be dating in 2017 after being spotted on a dinner date. It was looking like a whirlwind romance when the two flew to Italy together just a few weeks after their first date. They announced their relationship not long after in an Instagram post, and fans were loving it. The couple continued traveling quite a bit together, but eventually called it quits after just 10 months. An insider shared they have been going back and forth for a few months about their relationship. It's been hard with him being on tour and her shooting in New York. That wasn't easy on them. When Selena was talking about her relationship not long after it ended, she shared, "Something that I'm really proud of is that there's a true friendship. I truly have never experienced anything like that in my life. But was that just one-sided?" After The Weeknd came out with the song "I Thought I Knew You," fans immediately thought it was about Selena. In the first verse, he basically implies he was a rebound from Justin Bieber, but that he's over it now. He then goes on to allege that the person he's talking about was playing the victim in the story. He sings that this person plays the victim every time that it comes back to hit them 2 times too. Could he be talking about how after they broke up, Justin got engaged with Hailey and he got back with Bella Hadid at the time? When the song came out, fans had their thoughts. One Twitter user wrote, "His songs lately are trash and just dissing Selena. Can't he leave her alone and stop being immature?" Another fan was more on his side though and wrote, "The Weeknd ended Selena Gomez when he called her out for victimizing herself because of all the drama she starts. We stan." Number 8. Lorde. Back in 2013, Lorde very boldly called out Selena and her music. She shared her thoughts on Selena's song "Come and Get It" and how it portrays women. She said, "I love pop music on a sonic level, but I'm a feminist and the theme of her song is when you're ready, come and get it from me. I'm sick of women being portrayed this way." Later, she was asked about this statement during an interview with MTV, and she said, "I think there's a funny culture in music that is haters." Going on to add that if you have an opinion about something in music which isn't 100% good, you're a hater, even if you have a perfectly reasonable ground for the critique. Selena was asked about Lorde's opinion on her music and responded by saying, "I think she's super talented and I think it's awesome. But I think at the same time that feminism and this specific thing is very sensitive, because in my opinion, it's not feminism if you're tearing down another artist." Not long after this interview, she reportedly stopped covering Lorde's song Royals during her tour and replaced it with Katy Perry's song Roar. After this, Selena ended up having an interview with 17. She explained, "I'm going to support her whether she likes me or not because she's doing great things. Someday I will see her and we'll be cool." Whether Lorde feels the same way though is still up for debate. Number 7. Chris Rock. Chris was pretty open about his opinion on Selena with a tweet he made back in 2016. Chris posted a photo of Selena wearing a gold bodysuit that was somewhat similar to Beyoncé's World Tour outfit. The photo had the caption that read, "When you buy your formation tickets on Craigslist." Chris added on and wrote, "This is true." Selena has a pretty massive fan base though, and they quickly came to her defense. One user wrote, "I hope you feel good about yourself now. A grown man has to slam a young woman to make himself feel better. That's sad, Chris." Another wrote, "If it's a joke, it's not funny." This whole public diss came as a surprise to Chris and Selena fans. Just a few years ago, the two of them had posed for photos together with Chris's children at the Kids' Choice Awards. Selena never responded to this comment though, so it's difficult to know where the two really stand now. Number 6. Vaughn Ford. Vaughn Ford is a celebrity stylist who has recently reacted to the drama going on between the two celebrities, Hailey Bieber and Selena Gomez, and it's definitely pitted him against Selena and her fan base. Vaughn posted a story that wrote, "I hate Selena." Fans were speculating as to why he was even getting involved in the first place and why he was being so blunt about it. He then shared a screenshot of the post that was taken down due to harassment and wrote, "I said what I said." Since this post, the stylist has made his account private, and even though Hailey Bieber doesn't follow him, it didn't take fans long to figure out the two were friends. Vaughn had photos of working with Hailey on his Instagram account at the time, and the posts were made public. Hailey was also listed as one of his clients on his official website. But of course, in the midst of the drama between the two stars and Vaughn Ford's very public stance, she has since been removed from the website. When fans saw that a friend of Hailey was the one publicly coming for Selena, one commented, "It's always Hailey's friends." And another added that Vaughn most likely won't have a job after this. But others seemed to be more on Vaughn's side and supported his move to share his opinion. One Twitter user wrote, "There are valid reasons he feels this way. Guess why? She is rude, mean, nasty girl, and a wolf in sheep's clothing." Number 5. Hacked. Justin Pretense and Ross Butler were reportedly hacked when they wrote some opinions about Selena, but some fans aren't so sure. The hacker left some pretty brutal messages on Selena Gomez's page when she was producing the series 13 Reasons Why, which Ross and Justin were both in. A comment from Ross's account was left on the Weekend's post, who was dating Selena at the time, and it read, "Yo, hold on to your girl. She was getting a little fresh on set." From Justin's account, the comment that was left on Selena's social media said, "So glad you produced our show," with the hashtag "Those who can't act produce. Know your place, boo-boo." After this, they both got control back and tweeted that they were hacked and how they have nothing but love for those who were targeted. Though it really does look like they were just hacked in this unfortunate situation, some Instagram users are forever suspicious. What do you guys think? I have to admit that would be a pretty bold and interesting move if they weren't hacked. Number 4. Stefano Gabbana. The Dolce & Gabbana co-founder had some pretty harsh things to say about Selena back in 2018. Stefano has been known to be a bit controversial with his opinions in the past, as well as his fashion label having controversy surrounding it as well. But after making a comment about Selena out of nowhere, Selena's fans weren't having it. In a photo which showed Selena in 5 different red dresses, clearly prompting fans to pick their favorite, Stefano commented, "She's so ugly." Fans were quick to have Selena's back though. One fan wrote, "Your brand is lame. It's a pure joke and nobody cares anymore." Another added, "Shame on you for online bullying. Doesn't matter if one people see it or one person, it's bullying." He didn't seem to care that people were mad about his comment though and just wrote back, "Ha ha ha." Selena clearly saw this though and was seen at New York Fashion Week with the word ugly written in jewels in her hair. Number 3. Justin Bieber. Justin has kept pretty quiet during this whole thing with Selena and his wife Hailey Bieber, but did he publicly shade her at his birthday party? At his party, he looked to have handed out lighters to his guests which were engraved, and it quickly caught everyone's attention. It read, "I'm so thankful I didn't end up with what I thought I wanted." People began speculating that this was for sure about Selena and was in support of his wife during the drama where Hailey was getting a bunch of heat. Hailey has been considered a rebound by many fans of Jelena for years now, which Justin has repeatedly denied. He responded to a message about him using Hailey to get back at Selena back in 2019 and wrote, "Why would I dedicate my whole life to someone in marriage to get back at my ex?" Going on to say, "I absolutely loved and love Selena. She will always hold a place in my heart, but I'm head over heels in love with my wife." But looks like maybe with these lighters, he is trying to set the record straight with how he really feels about Selena. Number 2. With Demi Lovato. Demi and Selena's friendship goes all the way back to when they first made an appearance on Barney and Friends back in 2002. The two became very public best friends while they were teenagers, and fans loved to see it. But by 2020, Demi revealed that the two were no longer friends. Reportedly, their falling out was due to their personal struggles over the years. A source close to Demi came forward and shared why it really ended on Demi's side. They shared, "Demi felt like Selena wasn't there for her and that the friendship friendship wasn't reciprocated. Demi did share in an interview with Harper's Bazaar that she has love for Selena, but they aren't friends. Just days after this interview, an Instagram account was leaked, which was filled with mean jokes about Selena. It was suspected that this was Demi's private Instagram account, what she has denied. It was reported at the time that it's a fake profile that she doesn't use, and the photos that were making fun of Selena were edited and photoshopped. Regardless as if it was her profile or not, it really does look like this friendship may never be saved. And at number 1, of course, we have Hailey Bieber. We all know the drama between Selena and Hailey, which has been ongoing through the years, but really came to a head with the eyebrow fiasco. From Hailey reportedly copying Selena over the years to reportedly making fun of her online with her famous friends, I can't imagine that these two will hang out much after this. But with the backlash Hailey was receiving from Selena fans, she turned to Selena to help her with the outrage. Selena spoke out in her defense, essentially telling her fans to leave Hailey alone. Hailey then came out with a statement on her Instagram which said, "I want to thank Selena for speaking out, as she and I have been discussing the last few weeks to move past this ongoing narrative between her and I. This is one feud that I think will definitely take some time to heal, as Selena fans are still coming in pretty hot in Hailey's comments, so it looks like only time will tell for these two." Number 10, the narcotics. Many fans were surprised to learn about Jada's struggles with narcotics and sobriety that could have possibly ended her career back in the 90s. She admitted on an episode of Red Table Talk that at one point in her life she was drinking it like it was Kool-Aid, saying, "I could drink almost anybody under the table." She explained how it only got worse with her move to Hollywood. She told her audience how she was doing a cocktail of illegal narcotics, saying, "I wasn't doing things that I thought were addictive." She even went on to reveal, "Drinking red wine for me was like drinking glasses of water, because I'm used to that hard hit. Let me tell you, I was having a little ball." Considering herself as a big weekend party girl, she has since admitted that her substance use was most likely the result of her mental health issues. She recalls this time in her life by saying, "In my depression, using narcotics, drinking a whole lot, and smoking a bunch, just trying to find some peace of mind." But it wasn't until an incident on the set of The Nutty Professor that she realized she had to turn it all around. She explained, "I went to work on narcotics and it was just a bad bunch, and I told everyone that I must have had old medications, and that was the last time." Though not so embarrassing, some worried that she has perhaps been making light of addiction when she referred to it as having a ball. Luckily, it has been reported that she's fully recovered, but fans still worry for future relapses. Number 9, Scientology. Both Jada and Will have tried to insist they aren't involved in Scientology, but there have definitely been a few connections that have made us question that. Leah Remini, who is famously an ex-Scientologist, has claimed that the family has ties to the religion. Leah told the Daily Beat in 2017, "I know Jada's in. She's been in Scientology a long time." Going on to say, "I never saw Will there, but I saw Jada at the Celebrity Center." Scientology has long had a problem with controversy. Leah has claimed in the past that the whole thing is just a money grab from the founder L. Ron Hubbard. She shared, "When you reach the top, you will be told that God is a lie, and there are more levels ahead that will cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. There is no end to Scientology." A few Hollywood actors advocate for the religion, whereas others deem the whole thing as being very destructive. Some people even called it a dangerous cult, and it definitely has been an issue for debate regarding the celebrities that do have connections to the church. Leah even revealed that the Smiths reportedly even founded a school based around the religion, but it has since been shut down. The school was called the New Village Leadership Academy, and it opened in 2008 before shutting down just 5 years later. One of the school's staff confirms that they were using Hubbard's books in their teaching. Supposedly they also had posters of him around the school. The teacher claimed, "I mean, it was totally Scientology. There was no question." Because of all these speculations, Leah was invited to Jada's show Red Table Talk back in 2018. Jada then said, "My grandmother was like, you're going to learn all the religions, and then you have to decide which one you want to practice." She went on to say, "I always took the position that I'm here at Scientology Center to learn what I want to learn, but I have no interest in being a Scientologist." Because of this, it left some viewers believing that she was just caught in a lie. Number 8, parenting style. Jada and Will have 2 kids, Jaden and Willow, who are no strangers to the spotlight. But with this, it causes some fans to do a double take at their parenting style. Their parenting has received some backlash throughout the years, but it was really the 2014 photo that pushed critics overboard. Photos were posted online with Willow with 20-year-old Moses Eris laying in bed. When TMZ asked her why she would allow this, she responded by saying, "There's nothing about the photo or that situation. When parenting came up again during an interview with Us Weekly, she said, "I'm not a conventional parent, which I take a lot of pride in." Number 7. The cheating scandal. During her decades-long marriage with Will, it seems that someone else caught her eye as well, the singer August Alsina. The scandal that she initially denied before, she finally came clean with during a very cringy moment. During the 2020 interview, August claims that he and Jada had been romantically involved in the past, even going on to say that Will gave them his blessing, which has never been proven. He said during the interview, "I totally gave myself to that relationship for years of my life, and I truly and really deeply love and have a ton of love for her, and gave my whole self to it." He revealed that before her, he had never truly been in love before. When this hit the news, Jada initially denied it, but then later admitted that yes, it did happen, but only during a separation from Will. Saying on Red Table Talk, "We were over. From there, as time went on, I got into a different kind of entanglement with August." Going on to say, "I just wanted to feel good. It had been so long since I felt good." Though many times things like this would completely break a marriage, Will and Jada have said that it only has strengthened it. An insider told the press, "Will and Jada at the end of the day are like a normal couple who just happen to be glorified because they're famous. They have fought, but at the end of the day they do love each other." Regardless, with Jada being so open about this, I can't imagine it could have been fun for her kids. Number 6. The Snoop Dogg moment. An interview that many have been describing as frustrating is the Red Table Talk with Jada and Snoop Dogg. Previously, Snoop slammed the CBS This Morning presenter Gayle King when she referred to Kobe Bryant's essay charge in the wake of his death. Snoop took to his Instagram and said, "Gayle King, you were out of pocket for that. What do you gain from that?" Going on to say, "We expect more from you, Gayle. Don't you hang out with Oprah? Why are you attacking us? We're your people. How dare you tarnish my homeboy's reputation? Respect the family and back off." After this, he made an appearance on Red Table Talk where Jada told him his remarks were triggering to her as a black woman because he was insulting other black women. She said at the time, "It felt like not only were you talking to Gayle, but you were talking to me." However, because of this interview, Snoop's fans started to come for Jada. They claimed that she was reaching and faking outrage just for her show. One Twitter user wrote, "Jada Smith, stop it. Don't make this a woman's thing, because it's not. It's a Gayle King thing. Asking a wrong question at a wrong time. It's about timing." Another added, "Jada, do we have to cancel you too?" Number 5. Will's slap. An awkward moment all around is Will Smith slapping Chris Rock over a joke made over Jada's shaved head. But when a few people assumed Jada would stand by her husband regardless of this incident, she did go the other way. A source close to the star said, "It was in the heat of the moment and it was him overreacting. He knows that, she knows that, and they agreed that he overreacted." She confirmed she wasn't angry, but she wishes he didn't do it, which of course is understandable, but some fans are questioning this. An Instagram user uploaded a different angle of the slap, which appears to show that Jada is actually laughing after the slap. One viewer commented, "She laughs after he was slapped? Are you serious?" Another added, "Definitely didn't see the laughing side of her during this." So could it be that maybe Jada likes the drama a little bit more than she's letting on? Number 4. Embarrassing Will. Fans of the Smith family have been noticing something interesting about Jada, and it's that many think she is continuously trying to embarrass her husband. The moment that was pretty cringy on Jada's part is when, during an Instagram live, she begins talking about her and Will's marriage counselor, before suddenly turning the camera towards him to get his opinion. She asked him, "Would you say that she has been instrumental in you and I redefining our relationship?" He answers back, "I would say just don't start filming without asking me if you could." Jada then continues to record him to get an answer until Will turns away and continuously asks her to stop. Definitely an awkward moment. She also really threw her husband under the bus during an episode of Red Table Talk when she starts discussing intimacy with Gwyneth Paltrow. Jada brings up her and Will's love life and shares some pretty personal details. She even talked about how she used to expect him to read her mind. One of the worst Jada attacks on Will, though, would have to be the strange reaction to Will's surprise party for her, which took him 3 years to plan. When Jada turned 37, Will hired a team to begin planning her massive 40th birthday party. When talking about the party, he said, "It was going to be the thing that lifted her out of this midlife crisis. It was going to be my deepest, most beautiful proclamation of love." But her reaction was just not what he had hoped. When recalling what Jada thought of the party, he said, "She told me that the party was the biggest, most ridiculous display of my ego." Yikes. One fan commented on this and wrote, "Treat her like a celebrity and she'll treat you like a fan." Another added, "Imagine being married to someone that spent literally years planning a special event for you, and instead of gratitude, you say it's to feed their ego." Number 3. Marriage. Jada met Will during her audition for the role of his character's girlfriend on the show The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Though she didn't end up getting the part, it's reported that she made quite the impression on the star, who was married to another woman at the time. Will revealed later that not long after meeting Jada, he went out for dinner with his wife and realized he had married the wrong woman. After 2 years of dating, Jada found out that she was pregnant with their first child, Jaden, and pretty quickly after Will proposed with a $250,000 engagement ring. But it appears that Jada wasn't super excited about her upcoming marriage. During an episode of Red Table Talk, Jada shared that she never really wanted to get married, but her mom was putting on the pressure since she was young and pregnant. Jada's mom, Adrienne, revealed her worry that since she was an only child, she may never get the opportunity to see her get married. In the end, of course, she decided to go through with the wedding, but made it clear to Will that she did not want a typical ceremony. Will later admitted in his memoir that regardless of this, he did pressure her into having a traditional ceremony. When recalling her wedding day, Jada shares, "I was so upset that I had to have a wedding. I cried the whole way down the aisle." Though getting cold feet is pretty typical when making such a big commitment, a wedding therapist believes that there could be a little bit more to it. The therapist, Landis, told Insider that bad nerves can indicate that the person isn't ready for marriage, or that they could be marrying the wrong person. The question on fans' mind is, why marry someone after talking so openly about how upset you were about the whole thing? Number 2. Dating while married. Will and Jada have been married for decades, but was the start of their relationship a little more shady than they usually let on. When the two started dating, Will was actually still with his ex-wife at the time. When Jada's mothers discussed this, she revealed, "I think initially when Will first called you, he was married or he was just separated, and I was like, he's not available to you." The Orst hadn't happened yet. Later she explained that she didn't understand divorce, and talking to Will's ex-wife on the show, she says that when looking back, she probably should have backed off. At the time, she told his ex that she takes responsibility and said, "When I think back to where I was, some of my inconsideration, just in regards to your unwinding marriage and me trying to get in there." Going on to say it apparently feels wrong now. Definitely a bit shady on both Will and Jada's part for this one. And at number 1, we have her celebrity feuds. Jada has been known to have various feuds with her fellow celebrities over the years, leaving a few of her peers to believe if she can actually be just overly petty. One feud in particular occurred with Gabrielle Union. When Jada spoke with Gabrielle, she said during Red Table Talk, "Gabrielle and I were never really girlfriends. We were great associates." Going on to say that dissolved, and for 17 years we haven't really spoken. A controversial moment for Jada happened when she decided to end the feud on her show, making many viewers believe that she is more about the views than friendship. Gabrielle later admitted that she didn't know why Jada was ever mad at her in the first place. Could this just be a case of stirring up drama for good content?
Why does it seem like Johnny Depp has fallen out of favor with fans recently? In this video, we're counting down the top 10 reasons that everyone has started turning on him. Number 10, the new wave of boycotts. Johnny Depp has made his red carpet return at the 2023 Cannes Film Festival, less than 1 year since his highly publicized defamation trial against his ex-wife Amber Heard. While he has made his so-called comeback, legions of Amber Heard supporters took to social media to protest his slow return to the spotlight and the festival that's supporting him. Prior to the festival's opening, they launched an online campaign with the hashtag #CansYouNot to call out everyone giving him a platform. Eve Barlow, a journalist and friend of Amber Heard, initially shared the #CansYouNot hashtag to Instagram. She made a post condemning the festival for supporting Depp's film Jean du Barry. The #CansYouNot campaign has also spread throughout Twitter, and it's since drawn a lot of attention back to the trial. One Amber Heard supporter spoke to Variety and said, "The Depp v. Heard trial became the vehicle through which the backlash against the Me Too movement went viral. Hollywood industry seemed to be riding that backlash to return to the status quo. To open your festival with Johnny Depp, to be frank, it feels like a slap in the face." Number 9, renewed interest. Actress Brie Larson recently got dragged into the discourse surrounding Depp's return to Hollywood. She was left completely stunned after she got singled out by a member of the press to share her thoughts on his film controversially opening the festival. She was asked how she felt about Jean du Barry and whether or not she planned on seeing it. In response, she said, "You're asking me that? I'm sorry, I don't understand the correlation or why me specifically." The reporter then brought up the fact that she was a part of the Time's Up movement, so that's why he was asking her. Although she was a little taken aback by the question, Brie said, "Understood. Well, you'll see, I guess, if I see it, and I don't know how I feel about it if I do." That moment was incredibly uncomfortable to watch, and it has since gone viral across social media, which reignited the whole conversation surrounding the trial. Some people took her side and suggested that the journalist was being unprofessional for asking her that question, because he only wanted to twist her words. But others felt like she had a responsibility to answer it properly, because she was so involved with things like the Time's Up movement and the Me Too movement. Number 8. Online ridicule. While a lot of people celebrated Johnny Depp's return to the spotlight at the Cannes Film Festival, others used it as an opportunity to mock his appearance, specifically his teeth, which looked like they were orange or brown in color. Some people on Twitter have been making fun of the close-up photos of his teeth, calling them disgusting. These posts were followed up with some pretty nasty comments, some saying that he looked like he had eaten a bag of charcoal. Unlike many Hollywood stars, he hasn't spent thousands of dollars to get pearly white veneers or expensive composite bonding. Besides, he's also known for transforming his smile depending on the roles that he plays. For Pirates of the Caribbean, for instance, he had extensive gold capping on his teeth, and he held onto those caps until filming closed on the 3rd installment of the franchise. In interviews, he has also admitted to neglecting his teeth for years, and said that he was working to get them fixed. But he's insisted that he is not ashamed of his appearance, and that he is comfortable in his own skin. The actor has been in the public eye for decades, so fans have come to know and love his look. And it sounds like Dior likes it too, because he recently signed a $20 million 3-year deal to continue being the face of Dior Sauvage, which is a fragrance that he has been the spokesperson for since 2015. Number 7. Rejecting Hollywood. Depp arrived at the festival to a very warm reception with smiles and cheers from the crowd. He signed autographs and took selfies with fans before the premiere. His film then received a standing ovation at the festival. But despite this kind of reaction, Depp insisted that he simply has no need for Hollywood anymore. And that seemed to upset a whole lot of Amber Heard fans, who called out the festival's organizers for honoring him. At a news conference, Depp addressed the idea that some people thought he shouldn't have been there. He said, "What if one day they did not allow me under any circumstances, no matter what, I cannot go to McDonald's for life? Because somewhere, if you got them all in one room, there would be 39 angry people watching me eat a Big Mac on a loop just for fun. Who are they? Why do they care?" At another point, he claimed that he doesn't feel boycotted by Hollywood because he doesn't think about Hollywood or need it. His film Jean du Barry marks his first return to the big screen since the defamation trial. Less than a year has passed since all of the gritty details of his relationship with Amber Heard was aired in open court. Clearly, his comments did not sit well with those who were still frustrated over the verdict. Number 6. Growing support for Amber Heard. In the months since the trial, support for the actress has been steadily growing. As a result of that, several prominent celebrities have joined the conversation, even if they never meant to be a part of it. On the Cannes red carpet, Dame Helen Mirren's choice of accessories caught the eye of Amber Heard's supporters. She posed for pictures with a folding bamboo style fan imprinted with the hashtag #WorthIt. Some people interpreted this to be a subtle sign of support for Amber. In response to the speculation, Helen shared a statement insisting that no secret message was intended. She said, "I'm a L'Oreal ambassador. They are a sponsor of the festival, and quite truthfully, I picked up a fan because I was hot. Because you're worth it is the official L'Oreal Paris slogan." But regardless of her comments, people consistently pushed this story on social media and turned it into the hashtag #AmberIsWorthIt. On Twitter, they posted things like, "Helen Mirren stands with Amber Heard because she's worth it," and "Helen Mirren hit the Cannes red carpet for the premiere of Jean du Barry with a message of support for Amber Heard and a subtle FU to the film star Johnny Depp. And she used fashion to do it. Bow down to your forever queen of shade." Number 5. Johnny Depp's toxic fan base. Most celebrities have hardcore fans. That's just completely normal. But ever since the defamation trial, a certain chunk of Depp's supporters have made it their mission to go after other women that are speaking out about their own experience. Many women, famous or not, have been targeted online for sharing their story about domestic violence or SA. This is because a lot of people saw the defamation trial as a kind of pushback to the Me Too movement. It became such a cultural phenomenon that a lot of women who came forward with similar accusations were labeled as just another Amber Heard. Add that to the fact that Johnny Depp just has so many more fans. Over the 6 weeks that the trial played out, people overwhelmingly showed their support for him. The hashtags Justice for Johnny Depp and Amber Heard is guilty raked in billions of views. Kathy Griffin has since compared his fans to QAnon supporters, and many seem to agree with her. NBC News reporter Kat Tenbarge weighed in on the matter. She tweeted, "The reality is that the way the trial was consumed and analyzed by the public hurts victims. If you can't accept that, you don't live in reality. The QAnon vibes intensify when JD supporters have to reckon with the very real, immediate consequences of that trial." Number 4, the Me Too movement. Just minutes after the verdict was announced, Amber Heard rushed to Instagram and posted a statement declaring the reason she lost. She wrote, "I'm heartbroken that the mountain of evidence was still not enough to stand up to the disproportionate power, influence, and sway of my ex-husband." She really doubled down on aligning herself with the Me Too movement, writing that she was disappointed in what the verdict means for women, and she called it a setback. Quote, "It sets back the clock to a time when a woman who spoke up could be publicly shamed and humiliated," and adding that it sets back the idea that violence against women should be taken seriously. With that post, she made it clear that the verdict was a defeat for all women. At the time, the backlash against the Me Too movement seemed to be at its peak. So many of her supporters also seemed to resonate with the message. Months later, she would go on to win back some celebrity supporters, including women like Julia Fox, who argued that Amber should not be considered the aggressor in her relationship with Depp because of the age gap and the power dynamic between them. Number 3, Amber's move to Spain. It's been reported that the actress has quit Hollywood altogether. She's since been photographed going for a run on the streets of Madrid, which is where she relocated to months ago along with her daughter Una. A source close to the actress said that she couldn't wait to leave the US with her daughter after the trial. She now has a new energy since she's been living in Spain, where she gets a lot more privacy. The trial was also very stressful for her, and it left her exhausted and disappointed as she felt that she was mistreated. So that's why she wanted to start fresh out of the country to put it all behind her. Also, it does help that she's bilingual and can speak Spanish, which might be one of the reasons why she wanted to live there long term. At first, she was rumored to be living in a rented house on the island, but since she has moved there permanently to a new home outside Madrid. Before a settlement was reached after the defamation trial, it was said that she was spending most of her time living in Europe anyway, probably because she just liked the idea of being somewhat anonymous. Number 2, Amber's recent interview. These days, the actress tends not to engage with the members of the press, but she made an exception this time. In her most recent interview, she spoke to a cameraman on the street about her life in Spain. She said, "I love Spain so much. I hope I can get to stay here. I love living here. I hope you are good. It was a pleasure meeting you. I have to move forward. That's life." We didn't really find out very much about her life from that short clip, but it's really interesting to see what she's up to these days because she's been isolated for so long. No one has really heard from her since the trial, and that's certainly what caused some of her fans to worry. But judging from these latest pictures and videos, she does seem to be happy with her decision to leave the US. A source close to Amber previously told People magazine that she couldn't wait to leave the US with her daughter after the trial. Quote, "Amber has been living in Spain where she gets more privacy. The trial was beyond stressful for her and she just wanted to turn a new page. She is excited about working and filming again. She was exhausted and disappointed with the trial and she felt that she was mistreated. This is all behind her now because she has a new energy and is focused on the things that she loves." And coming in at number 1, the settlement. In December, Amber released her own statement explaining her decision to settle the case by only paying $1 million to Depp. In doing so, she also doubled down on her position in the trial. She explained that she lost faith in the American legal system and said that the settlement spares her the ordeal of further litigation and allows her to finally emancipate herself from their marriage. Quote, "I have made no omission. This is not an act of concession. It's important for me to say that I never chose this. I defended my truth and in doing so, my life as I knew it was destroyed. The vilification I have faced on social media is an amplified version of the ways in which women are re-victimized when they come forward." She went on to say that she exhausted almost all of her resources during the trial, and she was exposed to a type of humiliation that she simply cannot relive. Amber claimed that even if her appeal was successful, the best outcome would be a retrial, and that's something that she simply cannot go through for a third time. For their part, Depp's attorneys released a statement saying, "We are pleased to formally close the door on this painful chapter for Mr. Depp, who made clear throughout this process that his priority was about bringing the truth to light."
Number 10, the Selena obsession. TikTok has been going crazy lately over the wild similarities between Selena and Hailey, leading users to believe Hailey is copying the star. Of course, Hailey has always denied that this is the case. TikTok sleuths have put together videos of the strange times Hailey has copied her, even responding to interview questions the exact same. Definitely must be bizarre to have your ex-boyfriend's wife watching your every move. Just recently, Selena posted the song Let Me Go by Danielle Caesar on TikTok. Then, according to fans, Hailey posted the exact same song to her Instagram just shortly after. If you think, well, that could just be a coincidence, it gets a little bit more incriminating. Fans believe that Hailey has been copying her past interviews. The clip shared on TikTok shows Selena discussing her story and how she's glad to be able to share it. It then shows Hailey in another interview revealing how glad she is to share her story as well. Then when Selena was asked, "What's the one thing you wish people knew about you?" she responded by saying, "My heart." Hailey seems to mimic this exact answer in her own interview, saying, "I just wish people knew my heart." Hailey has also been known to copy many of Selena's iconic outfits as well as the exact same accessories. Back when Selena and Justin were still a thing, Justin gave her a promise ring with the letter J on it. This seemingly matches Hailey's J tattoo that she got on her own finger. One of the comparisons between both stars that has many TikTok users sure of the obsession is the seemingly matching tattoos. Selena got a tattoo just behind her ear of a small lowercase g for her sister Gracie. Then, just 2 years later, Hailey got a very similar G tattoo behind her ear as a tribute to the Seattle megachurch pastor's daughter, Georgia, who was born with a rare brain disorder. If that wasn't enough, people have also compared both Selena and Hailey's Vogue interview questions, making it look pretty bad for the model. With more and more internet detectives finding comparisons about the alleged obsession, it's most likely going to be tough to lie your way out of this one. Number 9. Superfan. There has been a rumor that Hailey has always been a superfan, but she's always denied it to the Bieber fan base. But with the amount of superfan energy she oozed in the past, this is a hard one to deny. Hailey has been known to be a superfan of both Selena and Justin back in the day, and in her defense, who wasn't? Reportedly, Hailey and Justin met for the first time at Justin's fan event back in 2009. Hailey was just 12 at the time and went with her father, Stephen Baldwin. She ended up attending another Justin event in 2011 with her dad and got to meet the star again at the premiere of Never Say Never. But when asked about this, Hailey responded by saying, "I was never a super fan of him or of anyone," going on to say, "It was never that crazed, screaming thing. I didn't think about it in any kind of way except for the fact that he was cute. Everybody had a crush on him. But for the first few years, we had a weird age gap." Not only that, but she loves Selena and Justin together too, according to her tweets at the time. One tweet read, "In 2012, I got to say I was looking forward to seeing what color coordination Janella was going to do for this year's Vanity Fair party, as well as, I don't care what anyone says, but Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez together is the definition of a teenage dream." Not only that, but on Christmas Eve 2011, she wrote, "Oh my god, I need Bieber wrapping paper ASAP." But it seems even Justin thinks she was a huge fan, even if she doesn't want to admit it. He captioned an Instagram photo of Hailey with, "People always ask me if I'd marry a believer. Well, I did." Number 8. Plastic surgery. This is one speculation that Hailey has always denied, but TikTok investigators seem to think that they have finally caught her. Dr. Barnett explained in a TikTok video what he believes she's had done, saying, "In addition to a rhinoplasty, I think she's had a couple other things done. Lip filler and a chin implant." Also going on to claim that she has cheek filler, jawline contouring, eyebrow microblading, and skin tightening. The video in question ended up resulting in a lawsuit against the doctor for false accusations against Hailey. In a cease and desist letter, attorneys for Justin and Hailey accused Dr. Daniel Barrett of using her name, image, and likeness to commercially advertise plastic surgery, and spread false claims that Hailey has undergone plastic surgery. Hailey also accused the doctor of using copyright-protected lyrics from Justin Bieber's song in the video. In the video, it shows two photos of Hailey years apart, and the doctor says, "Pay special attention to the nose. What do you think? I think it's physically impossible without getting a little help from someone like myself to get from this picture to that picture." In a statement to E! News, the doctor said, "The purpose of my TikTok is to increase the transparency of plastic surgery and to educate people." He went on to say, "The purpose of my video was to share my opinion about the procedures that I believe she may have had done based on photos alone." He's not alone in these thoughts though. Another TikTok user has come forward showing videos of Hailey's lips, saying, "I think these celebrities think we're dumb. Yes, you've always had lips, but you can't convince me these are the same." Going on to show various photos and clips of the model, she says, "You can see it migrating at the top. You can see where they even put the needle in." But with all these accusations, Hailey has stayed firm that she's never had any work done. Number 7. Calling paparazzi. We all know celebrities call paparazzi on themselves, and it looks like Hailey isn't above it. When asked about how she feels about the paparazzi harassing her and Justin, she said in an interview, "Sometimes when there's paparazzi following me, I have a flash in my head like getting out a baseball bat and literally destroying their car." She went on to say, "It makes me so annoyed that I'm like, one of these days I'm just gonna get out of the car with an effing baseball bat. She also said in the past, I didn't ask for grown men to follow me around with cameras. With a statement like that, you would assume she would try to avoid all the cameras at all costs, but that just doesn't seem to be the case. In a video that's been circulating around TikTok, you can see Hailey getting out of her car and asking the paparazzi where she should pose. And they answer, you can just do it right here. Then after a few photos of her are taken, walking down the street, she asks if they're all good and then gets back in her car. I mean, it really does look like a setup, so could she like photographers a little bit more than she says? What do you guys think? Number 6, the Selena overlap. Hailey has cleared the air during an interview on Call Her Daddy and has claimed that there is absolutely no overlap when dating Justin with Selena. She admitted that she is aware of how it looks and the timing of things, but has insisted that she waited. The timeline goes that Selena and Justin were hanging out a lot in late 2017 and seemed to get back together early 2018, until they looked to abruptly break it off. Not long after, Hailey came into the picture and then they got married. After getting married, Hailey said in an interview how she often struggled and was ridden with guilt during the first few months of marriage. This led some fans to believe it's because she stole Justin from Selena. Considering the times are so close together, it's definitely tough to not assume there was a little overlap between the two women. Number 5, racist comments. Though of course this is something that Hailey will always deny, some believe that the model has some pretty problematic and racist beliefs. 2011 to 2013 was a pretty problematic time for the model, who allegedly tweeted some very interesting opinions. One tweet she reportedly wrote was, "With Cody Simpson and the awkward moment when you're at a Chinese restaurant and your waiter isn't Chinese." Another tweet from 2013 read, "To those foreigners who don't celebrate Thanksgiving, so sorry your country didn't have pilgrims to such a sick holiday." Even more recently in 2016, it looks like Twitter users also seemed to find a tweet that looked as though the model was alluding to the fact that she may also be homophobic. Hailey looked to have liked a tweet that said, "Let me clarify, the Bible stands against homosexuality, so I stand with the Bible." Hailey then commented on this post writing, "So good." Even though it didn't take long for her to delete her Twitter once these tweets emerged, the digital footprint really will always live on for her. Number 4, Justin's Instagram. Does Hailey run both her account and her husband's? Fans believe she controls Justin's account to make it look like the couple are way more happy and way more in love than they actually are. After Justin posted a photo of his wife with the caption, "I love you baby," fans were convinced that Hailey was really behind it. Considering this was after a few weeks without making a statement on the ongoing drama, many were surprised that this was his decision to post. One fan wrote, "I bet you forced him to post this." And another added, "Hailey, give Justin his phone back." Another time that fans were convinced Hailey was posting for Justin was when the photo was posted of her with the caption, "Definition of a bad bee," aka strong, confident, independent, loyal, still can't believe you chose me. But TikTok users seem to think that she may have forgotten she was on Justin's account when they noticed that he commented heart emojis on his own post. A few seem to believe that they saw this coming, with one user commenting, "The caption on Justin's Instagram makes it so obvious. This was my suspicion before I saw this." Another added by saying, "So the fact that he has more pictures of her on his Instagram and she barely has any of him makes more sense now." Number 3, the visa. Have you heard the rumor that Justin may be using Hailey in order to get a visa to stay in LA? The rushed marriage with Hailey has had fans speculating if there may have been an ulterior motive to trying to tie the knot so quickly. Maybe it's because Justin figured this marriage could solve his problems, which is something he's admitted in the past. TikTokers began making videos explaining what they think is the real reason Justin jumped into marrying Hailey in a pretty abrupt way. According to social media users, with Justin being Canadian, he was pushing for a marriage in order to stay in the US. The theories began when DJ Khaled and Drake's song Popstar resurfaced online. Justin is seen in the video mouthing the words, "Ariana, Selena, my visa," which people believe is referring to the girls he's been with. Speculating my visa refers to Hailey. Justin has allegedly always stayed in the US on an O1 visa, which is for individuals with an extraordinary ability in the arts or extraordinary achievement in motion picture or the television industry. Since this doesn't lead to permanent residency, which is what he needs to be a citizen, but you know how you can be a citizen? Marriage. After he announced his engagement to Hailey, 2 months later Justin reportedly applied for the US citizenship. Is it possible that Justin only married Hailey to finally become an official dual citizen? 2 years ago, Justin even joked that his marriage was arranged, saying, "I think it was an arranged marriage. I'm pretty sure. Looking back now, it was definitely an arranged marriage. They set up this whole thing." Though he was joking, there might be some more truth to it than many would like to believe, and fans seem to agree that maybe the two really didn't marry for love. Number 2, we have mocking Selena. These two celebrities really have a strange relationship and are looking to be forever tied because of Justin Bieber. Since Justin and Hailey's marriage in 2018, the media has always always pitted them against each other, which they have both attempted to shut down until the eyebrow drama. In a now deleted post, Selena posted a video on TikTok sharing that she laminated her brows just a little too much. Within a few hours, Kylie Jenner posted a selfie on Instagram story with the caption, "This was an accident?" Clearly, fans and the media were convinced she was throwing shade at Selena, considering the text was placed over her eyebrows. She then went on to post a screenshot of a FaceTime between her and Hailey, which was zoomed in on both their eyebrows. This spiraled all over social media, with most fans coming to the support of Selena. The singer hasn't been one to get too involved in social media drama and has even gone off the platform to preserve her peace in the past. When this began getting out of control, Kylie saw the video and explained the bullying against Selena and commented, "This is reaching. No shade towards Selena ever, and I didn't even see her eyebrow posts. You guys are making something out of nothing. This is silly." To which Selena responded, "Agreed." Though Hailey hasn't publicly said anything about this alleged drama, Selena is over it. After sharing a makeup tutorial on TikTok, she wrote in the comments, "Thank you and love you all so much. I'm deeply grateful for each and every one of you humans. You make me unbelievably happy." She then added, "Please be kinder and consider others' mental health. My heart has been heavy and I only want good for everyone. All my love." Selena also came out with a statement on her Instagram story basically telling people to leave Hailey alone. But there's still no word from Hailey as to why she seemed to be so blatantly mean to Selena. Number 1, the publicity stunt. A relationship that Hailey may have lied about for publicity is her brief fling with Shawn Mendes. Shawn more or less has admitted that they were involved in the past, but they both refused to put a label on their past relationship. Shawn said in an interview with Rolling Stone, "I don't even want to put a title on it. I think it was more a zone of limbo." After being seen holding hands during Halloween and then cuddling over the holidays, it seemed that they were keeping it casual due to the distance. The two ended up being each other's date to the Met Gala in May, but by June, Hailey was back with Justin and engaged just a month later. At the time, Shawn claimed he wasn't bitter, saying to Patrick Doyle from the Rolling Stone, "I get it, you know, I'm really happy for them." But could this whole thing just be a PR move? Considering how fast it was and how quickly she married Justin, makes fans believe that it absolutely was. Well, that's all we have for you guys today. What do you think the worst lie is that Hailey has been caught in? Number 10, Botox. Has Jennifer had Botox in the past? She would tell you no, but many dermatologists would disagree. Jen started receiving major backlash after the release of her skincare brand JLo Beauty. She claimed that this was the secret to her ageless appearance, which many just don't believe. The star shared a makeup-free selfie and her skin looks a little bit too perfect. She has been quoted in the past saying, "I haven't had Botox to this day. I'm not that person." She went on to claim that it was olive oil and not a procedure of any sort, saying, "My mom used to say that olive oil was a cure-all for everything. So when we went to do this, that was the first thing I said. It has to have olive oil." After this statement, the dermatologist Corey Hartman took to Instagram and wrote his opinion, saying, "I think Jennifer is probably forgetting if she's had Botox, but I know for sure that she's used more than olive oil to maintain that glow." Going on to add, "To each their own. Good luck JLo with the olive oil. We don't believe you, but we still love you, Jenny." Jennifer shot back though, and when asked about the Botox speculation during an interview with People, she said, "I'm telling you what I do works. Please don't call me a liar. I don't lie about things. I've been pretty honest about my whole life." She even responded to some of them criticism on her Instagram and commented back at fans claiming that she had Botox, saying, "For the 500th millionth time, I have never done Botox or any injectables or surgery." But it seems many are in agreement that it would just be impossible to achieve that look at her age with just olive oil. Number 9, the movie line interview. Was she using this interview as a chance to bash her fellow women in the industry? Or was she, like she has claimed, just in a fan mentality? The movie line interview from 1998 is now infamous because of JLo's interesting critiques of other women in the industry. One woman she attacked was Madonna and her acting. When asked about Madonna, she allegedly responded by saying, "Do I think she's great? No. Do I think she's a great performer? Yeah. I think she's a great actress? No. Acting is what I do, and I'm harder on people when they say, 'Oh, I can do that, I can act.' And I'm like, hey, don't spit on my craft." Gwyneth Paltrow was another victim of this interview. When asked about Gwyneth, JLo responded by saying, "Tell me what she's been in. I swear to God I don't remember anything she's in. Some people get hot by association." Going on to say, "I heard more about her and Brad Pitt than I ever heard about her work." Cameron Diaz was next up in the pretty harsh interview. Jen said when discussing Cameron, "She's a lucky model who's been given a lot of opportunities. I just wish she would have done more with it." She went on to kind of dismiss the actress by saying, "She's beautiful and has a great presence. Though in My Best Friend's Wedding, I thought when directed she's good." She was then asked about this interview 20 years later, and she did admit that she knew it really angered some people. She said at the time, "I was still in that kind of fan mentality, back in the Bronx. And then you go, oh wait a minute, you have to present yourself in the way that you are." Going on to say, LA, so I learned to be more responsible. Number 8. Controlling. One thing I'm sure Jen would deny is how controlling she's been known to be. Sources have come forward to speak about how Jen and Ben Affleck's marriage is going, and it seems like there's a lot that annoys her about him. An insider claims that Ben's smoking habit is a big deal for Jen, as this is one of his long-standing habits. They revealed he's promised to give it up, but with all her nagging, he's smoking even more. Besides his most likely very annoying smoking habit, the source also reveals Ben may also have a bit of a cleanliness problem as well, sharing Ben doesn't clean up after himself, which really irritates Jennifer. The source also discusses the way Jennifer goes about nagging her husband, saying she's been known to yell at him and point her finger. It makes people wonder if she mistakes him for a dog. Not only this, but Jen really threw Ben under the bus when she suggested in an interview that Ben had no idea how to dress himself. She recalled a conversation with him and said, "I did kind of like say, you need to be, you're a movie star, you should wear a suit. You should do this with your hair." Going on to say he didn't do anything he didn't want to do. He had some good fashion moments when he was with me. Number 7. The makeup artist. This is more of an instance of JLo believing a lie and then completely running with it. In the mid-2000s, Jen really came after her longtime makeup artist, Scott Barnes. This came after rumors began circulating that someone in her inner circle had leaked information about her private marriage ceremony to Mark Anthony. During an interview, Scott explained what it was like to be basically banished by Jen for a whole year until it was revealed that someone else leaked the information. He said at the time, "It was like I had the Black Plague." He went on to explain that while he did get his job back, Jen supposedly didn't apologize. Scott revealed, "I went back to work with her and we just never spoke about it again, which is even weirder." Number 6. The Mariah Carey feud. It's been a long-known rumor that Mariah Carey is JLo's #1 nemesis, and after some of the reported incidents, it really does seem like this rumor is true. This feud dates back to the 90s and they have both since denied that there is no bad blood, but that just really does not seem to be the truth. Allegedly, the beginning to this long fight began because of Mariah's ex-husband Tommy. In her 2020 memoir, The Meaning of Mariah, she explained how she was working on the single Loverboy when she obtained a sample from the Yellow Magic Orchestra song, what she was going to use for her single. But it seems like Tommy, who is the head of Sony Music, was a bit bitter over the divorce and had other plans. Mariah wrote in her memoir saying, "After hearing my new song using the same sample I used, Sony rushed to make a single for another female entertainer on their label." But even after Mariah continued telling fans and interviewers that she didn't know JLo, it wasn't hard to figure out that this was who she was referring to. It really only went downhill from here though, and during a 2002 interview, Mariah threw more shade JLo's way. When asked about her feud with JLo, she responded by saying, "There are rivalries, but I don't think she has anything to do with me. My whole thing is singing and writing songs. I've been doing this my whole life, and singing is first and foremost. It's a God-given talent and I'm grateful for it. Her thing is something different." Of course, JLo was aware of what was being said about her to the public, and during an appearance on Watch What Happens Live, she ended up giving her side of the story. When asked about Mariah, she responded by saying, "I don't have a feud against her at all. I know from back in the day I've read some things that she said about me that weren't the greatest." She continued on by saying, "But we have never met, we don't know each other. I think it's from word of mouth of things that have happened in the past." Number 5. Trouble in Paradise. Has Jen been lying about her struggles of married life? When they first got together, an insider revealed that Jennifer was walking on air. But now it appears she's come down to reality, as multiple sources have claimed the honeymoon phase has worn off since settling into their life in their home in LA. While both are working with busy careers and the stress of blending two families, could it all just be too much? A source tells the press they're back to the grind of work and parenting. Reality has set in. The same source also explained that only recently, Ben stormed out of the house following an intense fight. Allegedly, the couple have been arguing non-stop since the wedding. A second source says, before the wedding, Jennifer put on an Oscar-worthy performance for Ben, pretending to be perfect and an easygoing wife, claiming Ben was blinded by love and just didn't know what he was really getting himself into. The two have been spotted at various events and look to be fighting in various clips. But could this just be out of context moments, or is there some truth to what the sources have revealed? Number 4. Demanding. Being called a diva throughout her career is nothing new to Jen. She has a bad rep in Hollywood for being supposedly somewhat of a diva, and the evidence is pretty incriminating. Reportedly, Jennifer refused to travel for a commercial that she agreed to do. For the commercial, she was meant to drive through the Bronx, where she grew up, to show what inspired her. But reportedly, she refused to leave LA, forcing a body double to have to step in and do all the work to make the ad for her. Her hotel demands are also known to be excessive. Allegedly, while staying at a hotel in London, she demanded a suite that was fit for royalty, with roses, specific brand of candles, and baked cookies with plain M&Ms. Insiders have come forward to share their experiences as staff when encountering J-Lo. Reportedly, while flying, Jen refuses to acknowledge any staff. An airline attendant claims he offered her a drink, but she didn't even look at him before looking at her personal assistant and said, "Please tell him I'd like a Diet Coke with lime." Even with all the celebrities and other staff members coming forward to discuss their experiences with Jen, she's continued to deny her diva energy. She said during an interview, "I got a moniker of being a diva, which I never felt I deserved, which I don't deserve." Going on to say, "I've always been a hard worker, on time, and doing what I'm supposed to do." Number 3, her friendship with Garner. How are J-Lo and Ben's ex-wife Jennifer Garner really getting along? While the two would say that there's no bad blood, is that really the truth? While one source claims that the two have forged a friendship, other insiders' claims seem to contradict this. During an interview, Garner shares how she's been working hard to not look at any news regarding her or her ex-husband. She said, "I work hard to not see either of us in the press. It doesn't make me feel good, even if it's something nice about one of us." She went on to add, "I don't need to see my family made into a meme." After she was asked if she has seen the Ben memes, and she replied by saying no, but admitting that he is quite meme-worthy. This didn't sit well with J-Lo at all, and an insider shared, "It's Jennifer's way of saying Ben looks miserable, and all of his appearances in the public are lame. How could J-Lo not take it personally?" Adding that the comments made were a big FU to J-Lo. The source further revealed the star's feelings, saying, "Part of her wants to fire back and tell Jennifer off, but she's smart enough to not make too much of a scene publicly. So it'll all be up to Ben to be the referee. Seems like maybe she's some pretty strong opinions that she'd rather the press not know." Number 2, the 2003 split. Seems like Ben and Jen have varying views as to why they called off their first wedding back in 2003. Jen supposedly has claimed that the two just weren't seeing a future with similar visions together. A source told Page 6 they were on very different paths at the end of it. Jennifer was ready to settle down and have kids, but Ben wasn't keen on giving up his bachelor lifestyle just yet. Going on to say she got tired of waiting for him to come around, even though it broke her heart to end things. But is this what Ben felt at the same time? In a conversation that was released after the two split, revealed how Ben hated all the attention the wedding was getting, which is one of the reasons the two called for the original postponement of their big day. He reportedly says, "It's driving me crazy, everything is out of control." And at number 1, we have Selena. Reportedly, Jen can't handle media attention and critics as well as she'd like people to believe. Back in 1997, Jen was criticized by a journalist for her role in the film Selena. Though many people loved the movie and Jen's performance, one journalist really felt the star's wrath for not loving it. The journalist wrote at the time, "The one thing you don't do when you walk out of this movie is say, 'Who's that girl?'" During an interview, Jen said, "There are certain people marked for death already. I have my little list of journalists that have treated me unfairly." It didn't end there though, and it looked like she really couldn't handle the heat. Jen was quoted by Animated Times that when asked about the review, she said, "I was totally happy with my work on Selena, but out of the 700 reviews, I can quote, 'The one thing you don't do when you walk out of this movie is say, who's that girl?'" Going on to say, "When another person from the same magazine came up to me, the first thing I said to her was, 'You tell that other bee that writes for your magazine that I'm never talking to her again.'" Definitely a note for other journalists is don't write a bad review about J-Lo because she will never forget. Number 10, the second tape. Ray J's former manager came in hot a couple years ago, accusing Kim of lying about her second alleged sex tape. The original tape of Ray J and Kim was released in 2007, and many believe this was Kim's kickstart for her and her family's careers. But as so many years have gone by, you would think this drama would be more or less over, but you would be wrong. The former manager, Whack 100, shared in a podcast in 2021 that he has a second, more graphic version of the tape. And after a suspected sneak peek was released of the teaser clip, he commented on a video of TMZ discussing it, saying, "Now I'm confused. First, Kim's attorney said I'm lying, this doesn't exist. Second, now Kim is saying she's blocking us and releasing it. So now I guess she's admitting she and her team have been lying." Kim had some thoughts about these accusations though. During a teaser clip for her new season of her reality show, she tells her attorney, "Over my dead body is this happening again. I know the right attorneys this time and I'm not gonna let this happen to me again." Going on to say, "I have all the time, all the money, and all the resources to burn them all to the effing ground." Kim has never fully said there isn't a second tape, but her spokesperson told the press last year, Kim remains firm in her belief that there is no new second tape that exists. Going on to add, after 20 years, she truly wishes to move on from this chapter and focus instead on the positive things she continues to do as a mother, entrepreneur, and advocate for justice reform. Number 9. Her natural hair. Is Kim's waist-length hair really all natural? Many believe there's absolutely no way. After photos were shared on Kourtney Kardashian's Poosh Instagram account, internet critics believe she was lying about how natural her hair really is. The post was all about how to achieve natural hair growth, but many Instagram users just didn't buy it. Poosh posted 3 photos of Kim showing her long, healthy-looking hair. The brand captioned the photos with, "What all-natural ingredient does Kim swear by for hair growth? We're sharing the secret to her luscious locks at the link in our bio." A few began believing that she could actually be wearing a wig for this photo shoot, and brought up how much damage she has done to her hair over the years, which wouldn't result in hair that looks so healthy like that. One social media user wrote, "LOL, she's literally wearing a wig in this photo. Kim has been practically bald since the Met last year when she fried her hair with bleach." Another user joked by saying, "I'm sure her extensions are human hair, so technically it is all natural. Gotta find those baby bar loopholes." Number 8. Northwest. Parents embellishing their children isn't usually looked at too deeply, but did Kim go too far when talking about her daughter North? Kim shared a short video on Instagram with the caption, "How sweet is North surprising me tonight with this for us to relax before the Met." The clip showed a room lit by white candles and matching white roses with petals all over the floor, and balloon letters which spelled out the words Karl Lagerfeld Met Gala, just above 2 massage beds. But fans were unsure that a 9-year-old would think to do this pretty lavish situation. One Reddit user posted a screenshot of the story and said, "There is no way North would do this." Another commented, "Why do adults lie? Even when they certainly don't have to. I don't get it. You have all the money, why still lie?" One other Reddit user questioned how North would even go about doing this at all, and wrote, "How would North even arrange that? What 9-year-old would call the front desk requesting massages, specific Met Gala balloons, white floral arrangements, and 30 candles?" What do you guys think? Is this just another case of Kim getting caught in a lie? Number 7. The bag reveal. Kim has claimed in the past her lashes are all natural, but after spotting some interesting products in her cosmetic bag, fans aren't so sure. Kim shared to her fans what's in her Chanel bag while she travels. She showed viewers brands like Neutrogena, Secret, and Latisse. While many were surprised she was using brands that are easily found at any local store, others believed they caught the star in another lie. Kim has shared before that she only ever uses a drop of mascara and that her eyelashes are completely natural, but Latisse is a product that helps with eyelash growth. One fan immediately called out the star and wrote, "Kim's showing us she uses Latisse eyelash growth after claiming she doesn't." Not only that, but the social media users didn't believe that she actually uses drugstore products in her day-to-day life, considering just how wealthy she is. One user joked, "Behold the bag of a billionaire, they're just like us." Number 6. The dress. The Marilyn Monroe dresses have been the root of a lot of controversy for Kim. We all know about the one she wore to the Met Gala, but what about the green sequin dress? Kim uploaded a series of photos last year that showed her in Marilyn's green dress while holding a Golden Globes award. Marilyn wore this dress during the Golden Globes back in 1962. Kim captioned her photos by saying, "In my quest to find the Jean-Louis hand-beaded dress that I wore to the gala, I discovered Heritage Auctions owned Marilyn's iconic green sequin dress." Going on to say, "Further into my research, I found that the owner of the Golden Globe that she received that evening was none other than my friend Jeff Letham." In an interview with Vogue, she claimed to own 3 replicas of Marilyn's dresses, claiming to have the green sequin dress, the Mr. President Happy Birthday dress, and another unnamed one. But this left users of the Marilyn Monroe fan page kind of confused. The fan page questioned Kim and wrote, "Who is it that actually owns Marilyn's 1962 Golden Globes gown? First you say it was Julian's Auctions, and then you updated your post to say it was Heritage Auctions." Another user begged for the star to stop claiming she could fit into these iconic dresses, and commented, "Time to call off the charade. You couldn't fit into the JFK dress, which we now know, and you couldn't fit into the Golden Globes dress." One other Marilyn Monroe fan worried about the dress, fearing it had been changed since it was owned by the star in the 60s, and wrote, "The dress doesn't look the exact same. The back is different. Was it altered?" After the backlash she received over wearing the dress, I can't imagine she will wear one of her dresses in the future, replica or not. Number 5. Photoshop. Photoshop drama has followed Kim for ages as to if she does or doesn't use it. Though she has been caught in the act a few times, the recent post to promote her Skims bikini has outraged fans. She captioned the photo with, "I just try on Skims, swim, and pray it doesn't rain forever in LA." The photo shows Kim posing in front of a mirror in her bathroom in the bikini, but internet critics have claimed that the whole thing looks pretty distorted. One user wrote, "Am I the only one burnt out on Photoshop Kim? The amount of editing is absurd. Just post a regular pic, nobody cares you're in your 40s. Another added, "I wonder if she realizes how badly her photos are photoshopped." One other fan even claimed it was so badly photoshopped that she looks like she's missing her middle finger on the hand holding the phone for the selfie. They commented, "Why was this picture edited so much? Right side finger looks erased and the inner thighs on the left are pixelated due to trims." Number 4. Weight loss. Has Kim lied about her weight loss in the past? Before showing up to the Met in Marilyn's dress, Kim told fans that she had followed a strict diet, losing 16 pounds in order to fit into the gown. Kim showed her fans her body scan on her Instagram story, and of course it was analyzed pretty fast. Kim explained that a year ago her body fat percentage was at 25% and now it's 18.8%. But after it got reposted in a Kardashian Reddit board, people began noticing her lie. A Redditor wrote, "According to this, Kim is 10 pounds lighter than she was last year. So much for that, I lost 16 pounds to fit into Marilyn's dress." Another user questioned Kim and wrote, "Didn't she say she continued on her fat loss journey and lost about 20 plus pounds?" Going on to say, "It's just a never-ending loop of lies with this family." Number 3. The fillers. Last year, Kim was asked if she ever had filler or Botox. She responded by saying, "I've had a little bit of Botox, but I've chilled actually. But no filler, I've never had filler in my cheeks, I've never filled my lips." But after downplaying her cosmetic procedures that fans believe she has had done, it's faced a bit of backlash. Even when Kim was pressed more about the details of filler or even eyelash extensions, she continued to deny and claimed her look was attainable. But it looks like the truth is really coming out now. Jessica DeFino, the beauty editor who used to work as an assistant editor for the Kardashians app, came forward to share the truth about the family. She tweeted, "Remembering that time I was on a press trip with a Allure editor and Kim's go-to cosmetic injector. The injector told us everything she's done to Kim's face off the record." Going on to say, "Obviously I understand the site can't publish that, but it shouldn't publish lies either." Jessica claimed that Kim was promoting the lie that anyone can look like a Kardashian. Jessica explained further her feelings on Allure publishing this reportedly false story, saying, "The tone says the story is probably full of harmful lies, but we're going to let Kim have the final word, publish it, and profit from the clicks and affiliate sales anyways." Number 2. No grays. Do you believe Kim has ever had a gray hair in her life? During an appearance on Live with Kelly and Ryan, Kim claimed that she never found a gray hair on her head ever. This all started when Ryan asked Kim how she keeps up with her platinum hair, trying to push to see how much work really goes into keeping up with bleaching your roots. Kim said at the time, "When I dye my roots, it's going to take probably 8 hours, so I've been lazy. It's so much work." But after moving towards the topic of grays, Kim shared, "I have not gone gray yet. I haven't had one gray hair yet. Isn't that weird?" But according to an expert, this is highly unlikely. Madeline Preston told Cosmopolitan, "The majority of women are bound to see a few gray hairs in their 30s, and by the age of 50, most would expect to have more than 50% of their scalp turn gray." Though of course it's different for everybody, Kim was caught in this lie. After fans went back and did some research, Kim actually shared that she got her first gray at 37, and she oddly enough shared this info on Live with Kelly and Ryan. During that time, she said how stressful it was coming to the defense of her then husband Kanye West when he was receiving so much backlash. She explained, "I will say he gave me my first gray this week, and I'm blaming that on him." After being caught in this lie, one user wrote on social media, "What a weird thing to lie about. I got my first gray at like 24. Another added, "Is this an attempt at a flex?" And at number 1, we have the sleep schedule. Kim shared on her Instagram story her sleep report. She captioned the screenshot with, "Great sleep score today. I finally got my heart rate down at night and my HRV up, and it feels so good." The photos showed that she scored a nearly 100% in readiness and landed at a 94% in sleep. The report said, "Seems like you've been getting the right amount of sleep lately." In an interview not long before this post, Kim went through her morning routine. She revealed, on a general day, I wake up at 5:45 a.m. for my workout at 6, and I'll pick up my workout clothes the night before. Going on to say, I keep it basic and pretty much wear the same thing all the time, and then I work out for an hour. But after this, fans took a little look into her sleep report, and they had some questions about how legit her early morning workout really was. One user wrote, Kim always says she wakes up at around 4 or 5 to work out, but every time she posts these things, she actually wakes up way later. What is the truth, Kimberly? Another added, she's lying, and these aren't actually her screenshots, but what the company tells her to post. One fan even questioned the star, writing, who the heck sleeps for 9 hours with 4 kids?